Hey guys, I wanted to show you, a new lining video. I've done several how to line my soap mold videos, but I have been practicing with a new way of lining to where the soap molds do not leak. Well, not the mold, to where the soap does not leak around your paper. And I'm not the best at it. I'm still learning. I've watched several videos, and I was gonna try to explain it and show to you guys, because I have a lot of people that are like, hey, I love my wood molds, but they leak. I mean, you guys can see the inside of this one. It's quite terrible. I have gotten leaky soap lots of times. So I have got several different molds here to show you how to line it, because I know some people's had trouble with their tall skinnies. So I got a tall skinny mold back here, I got my standard mold, and I got a double mold. So for the standard mold, and this is just your normal freezer paper. It's 8-10 inches wide. I know you can get them shorter, I know you can get them longer. What I'm using is 18 inches. So I'm going to start out like I normally would with my piece of paper. And let's see, you guys can see the mold, yes. Alright. Like I normally do in all my other videos, I'm going to make an indentation of the interior of my mold. So I'm going to hold my piece of paper down, run my finger along both sides, and on the ends. And now I officially have, you guys can see that, the whole interior of my mold. Now I'm going to fold it all. You guys see this? Hope you can see it well. Now, I'm going to fold it along my creases that I made. Very nicely, and this is where it becomes different. I'm going to crease it on the end here like normal. Alright, now, as you can see, I've got my squared, or my area down here. Okay, this is where it's different. While you have it folded like this, I'm going to put my finger in the corner right here at my crease. Okay, right along this crease. I'm going to put my finger just on the inside, like where your mold would be. And I'm going to grab this end. Oh, you can't see. Is that better? I think that's better. I'm going to grab this end of the paper and bring it up like this. And this crease that runs along here, I'm going to line it up with the bottom of the mold with this crease. Okay? You guys see that? And it makes this point. I'm going to push it down and I'm going to crease it like that. Okay? Now, I'm going to use my mold to make the paper stay down. I'm going to do the same on this side. Put my finger just on the inside where I creased it at the corner. Bring this up. Have them meet here. Push it down and crease it. Now, what's going to happen when you open this up, it's going to be, there's no cuts. It's going to be sealed on the inside. So let's do this other end. And I will do it, a couple more times. Like I said, I'm still learning myself. I've only done this a couple times. Now the reason I'm cutting this little tiny strip off is I don't want this piece of paper to go over my line on either side. I want it on the inside, okay? So now I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna open it up, just like so, and we're gonna put it down in the mold. Hopefully, if I can get a hold of it. Hold on. There we go. Like I said, I've only done this a few times. Okay, now it's back to like normal. I'm gonna cut my corners, all 4 corners. So I can fold my paper down and tape it. I'm gonna stick my hand down in the mold and make sure my paper is all the way down at the bottom of the mold. And I'm gonna cut off all this extra paper that I really don't need. Now I see that I didn't really make my paper long enough, but that's okay. I will for the next one. I'm gonna cut this corner and this corner. Let's go ahead and cut the extra off. I'm gonna put my hand down in there, make sure it's all the way down. Tape it down. Now, the same for the sides. I'm gonna put my hands in, gonna run them along on either side. Make sure it's all the way down. And when you pull this over to crease it, don't pull up on your paper, because then it will cause your soap to be rounded on the bottom and not square. So we'll push it all the way down. Make sure it's all the way down. Now, so as you can see, we are completely lined and there are no seams here. There's, like, if it would seep behind there, there is this cross section in the back to catch the oil, the soap, you know, well, it's oil when you pour it in there. It'll catch it, keep it from leaking and getting on your mold. So let's do this a couple more times. I won't explain it quite as much. So this is a tall skinny mold. We just did the standard. Okay, now this one, I find that it's too wide this way. Like the 18 inches is too much. So I'm gonna let it roll up on me like it normally would in there. And I'm gonna cut off like 4 or 5 inches just because it's too big. Now we unroll it and we're going to line it. It was too big this way. I hope that didn't confuse anybody. Alright, so now same thing. Make our lines so we know the inside diameter dimensions of our mold. We're going to do our creases. Now I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can't line molds, it's, you know, I don't have time for it, and I don't mind it. It's just something that you gotta sit down and do, you know? Now, finger on the inside corner, we're gonna bring this up, line it up, and do a big old crease. Now, as you can see, this goes way over our line here. So we're gonna cut that off. Just on the inside. We don't want to cut off too much of it. Now we're going to do this one. Lining it up. Creasing it. Cutting it. There we go. Now we'll turn it and we'll do our other end. Put my finger down. crease it. Gonna cut this extra off, just so it's just on the inside. Same over here. I'm gonna cut this off. And that's just so, you know, like I said, it stays in this little block. Over here. Now, I'm gonna grab it. Gonna open it up. We're gonna get our mold. Gonna slip it down in the mold. This is a little bit complicated part for me, is sliding it down in the mold and keeping it creased. Make it a video. All right. Get that corner down. Turn it in a do of this one. There we go. Now we're gonna cut our ends. I'd say the smaller your mold, the harder this would be, but I have a lot of people request, you know, how I line it without it leaking. This is the only way I know. So, potentially leaking, I have always found just, it happens. Especially if you pour at a thin trace. Alright. Gonna get off my extra paper. Tape it down. I know you guys can hear my washing machine going. I apologize, but when it's soaping day for me, it is also the day that I do laundry. So, I gotta, you know, kill two birds with one stone. So, okay, now we have a double. We're gonna do our double mold. And then that's it. This one should be really easy. Should be no cutting. So you technically should be able to do any size mold this way, but the smaller the mold, the harder it's gonna be, I have found. Doing my standards are the easiest. This is the first time I'm lining it with a double. First time I'm doing a double this way. Now, while I still have my paper down here, now if you line with parchment paper, it may be easier because parchment paper is not as stiff, but I always use freezer paper when I line my soap molds. There's a lady on YouTube that lines this way, and I watched her video several times. She did it a little bit differently, but I got the gist of it from watching her videos. See how easy that was, guys, with a bigger mold? making lots of soap today, hopefully. I get it all done. It is after lunchtime, and I have not started yet. Well, I mean, I'm getting there. I had to make sure all my dishes were clean, start laundry, get all the stuff together. Now I'm lining the molds. Making soap is very time consuming. Alright guys, so that's that. Now like I said, as you can see, there is a beautiful, it's seamless, and you guys can see that in there, if it seeps behind there, that will catch it. So there you go. I hope this helps some of you guys. But yeah, talk to you later. Bye bye.